Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here this afternoon for our regular briefing. Since there has been an important bilateral interaction today, I will start with those aspects, following which I will then talk about our regular update regarding the security situation of Indian nationals in Iraq. So let me begin with the bilateral interaction today. And on a day when India launched French satellite, External Affairs Minister today also received the Foreign Minister of France, Mr. Laurent Fabius. He was here at the request of the External Affairs Minister. And India and France have a bilateral strategic partnership. The 4 areas that we focus on in terms of our bilateral strategic partnership are space, civilian nuclear energy cooperation, defense, and anti-terrorism. Obviously, since today was an important day in terms of space, much of the discussion was focused on that aspect of our relationship. Those of you who follow space are perhaps aware that our relationship with France in terms of space goes back to the early 1970s. At that time, Indian satellites were being launched from using French launch vehicles. Today, it's a changed scenario. India is launching French satellites. This is the second satellite that we launched. Also, we are working with France and co-producing satellites. Those of you who are familiar with this issue are aware that previously we have co-produced with France satellites. These are Saral and Megatropics, both related to environment and information collection regarding to one on sea and the other relating to environment. So that area of our common endeavor was a major area of discussion. In addition, of course, we discussed other aspects which I have listed out to you. If any of you are interested, I will then try and respond to those questions. Apart from bilateral aspects, when foreign ministers meet, it's normal that they discuss issues relating to regional areas of cooperation as well as possibilities of understanding each other's view on international issues. And therefore, those elements too were discussed. In brief, if I have to sum up, the discussions were spread over about three hours or so. They were comprehensive. They touched on a variety of bilateral, regional, and international issues. Now, I can perhaps go to the situation in Iraq. Alternatively, what I will do is I will first answer questions on these aspects and then provide you a summary of the situation in Iraq and then move to those aspects. So let's start with any questions that you may have relating to the bilateral meeting between the External Affairs Minister and the Foreign Minister of France. Yes, Vijay?
What did both foreign ministers discuss about the cooperation, nuclear cooperation? You said civil nuclear cooperation. The French company Arriva is engaged in the talks with Indian government to have the nuclear plants in Jaitapur, Maharashtra. So whether this particular topic came in for discussion and if there are any details.
Yes, obviously when India and France discuss, civil nuclear cooperation is a pillar of our bilateral strategic partnership, and this was discussed. Both sides reiterated their commitment to proceed with the Jaitapur nuclear power plant. They also agreed that it is best for the experts to deal with the techno-commercial aspects of this major project, which both India and France are committed as a long-term project between the two countries. Yes, Ranjit?
The French minister raised any issue on concerns relating to nuclear liability law?
Look, as I said, the discussion was at the political level. And the political level was a reiteration of the commitment in terms of both sides, since there is a new government in India, a reiteration of the commitment that nuclear energy will form a major component of our energy mix. and therefore an understanding and a clarification and elaboration of our approach to civil nuclear energy. And after that, they agreed that it is best for the techno-commercial aspects to be handled by those concerned experts, because neither are the two ministers experts in these aspects that you are dealing with. It's best for, it was agreed that it is for Ariva and for NPCIL to handle these issues. If yes, Rajiv?
Akbar, in context of Jaitapur, did this larger policy issue of EPR technology come up specifically in the sense that not a single nuclear reactor anywhere in the world based on EPR technology is operational, not even in France?
Well, I don't think this issue came up, but there are several reactors which are in the process of being built. There is Flamanville in France. There is also, I think, in Finland, and there is in China. So there are 3 reactors currently being built in different continents on this, using the same technology. If there are no further questions relating to France, then let me try and encapsulate. Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. We'll bring the mic.
Was there any discussion on the Iraq crisis also?
Yes, when we discussed regional issues, this did figure in the context of regional issues. Yes, just a minute.
Hi, sir, I'm Nandita Dagar. Sir, I wanted to ask you whether the French foreign minister expressed his concern over the delay in the deal over Rafale, the 126 medium multi-role fighter jets.
This issue is going to be discussed between our defense minister and the French foreign minister. So as regards defense, there was no specific discussion on this aspect because these are negotiations which are underway and these are handled by our Ministry of Defense, and they are likely to figure in any discussions that the French foreign minister is going to have at 5 o'clock with our defense minister. If there are no further questions on this, let me try and encapsulate for you the developments in terms of the situation of Indian nationals in Iraq. Okay. If I were to summarize the current situation, I would say that the phase of facilitation of Indian nationals in Iraq in the areas which are not in the conflict zone is now well and truly underway. Now, let me try and tell you why I say that it is well and truly underway. I had explained to you that we had sent mobile teams to Najaf, Karbala, Basra, and we had also yesterday started mobile teams in Baghdad. I had also explained to you that these mobile teams were authorized by the External Affairs Minister to contact Indian nationals in their places of residence to advise them that in accordance with the 2 advisories that we have sent, it is best that they leave their places of work and return to India. Number 2, in case they have any problems in returning to India in terms of availability of funding for their return tickets, the government of India would bear that liability and would be willing to provide those tickets. Number 3, in case they have issues relating to a contractual or legal nature where about their visa status, for example, or else about their contractual obligations, the embassy teams will be assisting them in their discussions, A, with their sponsors and B, with the Iraqi immigration authorities. You are also aware that India and Iraq have set up a joint committee to address all issues relating to immigration problems that may arise of Indian nationals coming there. Now, armed with these instructions, the teams have been going in Najaf, Karbala, Basra, and in Baghdad. And let me tell you where we stand on this. In Najaf, today, our officials have ensured the return of 60 Indian workers. From Najaf, 60 Indian workers have left today. The papers of another 31 are being processed, and their bookings have been done. They will leave tomorrow. In addition, for day after tomorrow, we are processing ticketing and papers of another 30. So let me repeat, 60 already left, 31 for tomorrow, all papers are being processed, and 30 the day after. This is in Najaf. Let me now go to Karbala. In Karbala, 30 Indian facilitation of 30, the departure of 30 Indian workers has taken place today. Paperwork of another 100 plus workers is in the pipeline and will be undertaken in the next 2 to 3 days. We also hope to complete paperwork of another 100 workers other than those who are going to depart in the next 3 or 4 days. So, as far as Karbala is concerned, about during the course of the next, say, 5-6 days, approximately 230. 30 have left today, 100 in the next 3-4 days, and another 100 beyond that. In Basra, as you are aware, the team in Basra is the most distant in terms of distance from the capital Baghdad. The team had reached late day before yesterday night, as well as it was reinforced only yesterday during the course of the day. Our team had gone and met a judge where there were 6 Indians serving in judicial custody. The judge, based on the applications made by the embassy team, has agreed to release them tomorrow. We would be doing their bookings, and they would leave shortly. In the nearby area of Nasiriyah, which is near to Basra, we are working on ensuring the paperwork for the departure of another 50 Indian nationals. So, 6 in Basra, 50 more in Nasiriyah. Now we come to Baghdad. In Baghdad, the team started working yesterday. We have now issued tickets for 12 Indian nationals to leave Baghdad. 4 of them have left today. The other 8 are likely to leave, depending on availability of tickets in the next flights in the next day or so. As I mentioned earlier, in order to speed up the departure of Indian nationals, in case they have problems about paying for their tickets, Government of India is paying those tickets. So in essence, if I were to sum up, approximately more than 600 Indian nationals will be facilitated for the departure of more than 600 Indian nationals will be facilitated during the course of this week. We are continuing to work on paperwork. We are continuing to work on ticketing. We are continuing to work with the employers to work out solutions for those who may have problems. That's all I have right now. If any of you would like to ask me specific questions, I'm willing to answer those. Yes, just a minute.
सर, ये जो आपने 600 लोगों के बताए अलग अलग जगह से आ रहे हैं, ये सारे वर्कर्स ही हैं, और क्या इन्होंने खुद इंडियन एम्बेसी को अप्रोच किया है कि हम इराक से निकलना चाहते हैं किसी कारण से, और जो दूसरे रेगुलर फ्लाइट्स में और भी लोग वहां से आ रहे हैं क्या सर? बिसाइड दिस 600 दोज आर इन 5-6 डेज विल कमिंग.
पहले बात मैंने शायद ठीक से मैंने नहीं बताया, ये हम एक प्रोएक्टिव अप्रोच स्टार्ट किए हैं. इस प्रोएक्टिव अप्रोच में हमारे डिप्लोमेट्स खुद जाकर वर्कर्स से मिल रहे हैं और खुद जाकर उनसे कह रहे हैं कि हमारा असेसमेंट है एडवाइजरी के मुताबिक कि अभी सिचुएशन ठीक है, आप यहां से चले जाएं. तो ऑन दैट बेसिस दे आर लीविंग. नंबर 2, all are leaving by commercial flights. That's why I said we are in a facilitation phase. मैंने कोई और शब्द नहीं यूज किया जैसे कि कुछ और लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. मैं 3 दिन से बस यही शब्द यूज कर रहा हूं, फैसिलिटेशन फेज. फैसिलिटेशन फेज का मतलब ये होता है कि हम लोगों को समझाएं, उनको कहें कि अगर आपको कोई मुश्किलें हैं तो हम उन मुश्किलों को दूर करने के लिए तैयार हैं. अगर कोई टिकट का प्रॉब्लम है तो टिकट देने के लिए तैयार हैं. अभी तक ये 3 एयरपोर्ट्स यानी कि बगदाद, बसरा, नजफ और करबला, इन जगह से फ्लाइट्स चल रहे हैं. सो ऐसे कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है कि we turn to additional facilities. However, as I have told you previously, all our national assets stand ready to assist should they be required. But at this stage, we are working through available means. Those means, if they are not adequate, if we require other national assets, we will not hesitate to use them as and when required. Yes, Ashish?
So the French foreign minister just a short while back
I just answered all questions on France.
No, sir.
Please.
It's about Iraq.
I already answered that question. Yes.
Sir, my question is something different.
Yes.
So the fact that there were news reports that ISIL has, announced a separate Islamic caliphate as in the areas under their control.
Yes.
So my question is about those 39 Indians. Now, whom do you contact, sir? The Iraqi government? How do you secure their release, because they have announced their own caliph?
आशीष, मैंने कई बार कहा था अंग्रेजी में, अब मैं आपके लिए हिंदी में कहता हूं, हम हर दरवाजा खटखटाने के लिए तैयार हैं. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि एक दरवाजा, ये सामने का दरवाजा, पीछे का दरवाजा, और अगर खिड़की कोई खुली है तो उसको भी खटखटाने के लिए तैयार हैं. तो ये मत समझिए आप कि हम एक दरवाजा खटखटा रहे थे. We were knocking on all doors. I explained to you previously, we were knocking on front doors, back doors, and on trap doors. I think जो समझने वाले हैं वो समझ गए मैं क्या कह रहा था. Yes, sir. Just a minute. Wait for that.
So is there any update from Mosul?
I mentioned to you yesterday that we are not in the habit of providing these regular updates unless there is a fundamental change in the position. At this stage, what I have previously said stands. Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Have you asked the 46 nurses also to, leave Iraq?
Ma'am, we would love to ask that. But I think what we said in the previous advisories was, if it is safe for them to leave, you are aware that those nurses are in Tikrit. Tikrit is a conflict zone right now. There is conflict going on between the Iraqi army and those who had occupied Tikrit previously. At this stage, it would not be a responsible act for us to indicate that they should leave, should they be caught in the crossfire. But let me tell you what we have done. We are in regular touch with the nurses. We have provided them resources because they were running short of resources for their food and provisions. We have also explained to the Iraqi authorities at different levels of the locations of where these nurses are, so that they take due care to ensure that they are not caught in the crossfire. In case no one else has a question, I think we can wind up. Thank you very much.